Hey, what's up, guys? It's Peter Voogd here, and we're going to continue our series of 6 months to six figures breakdown. So welcome. Thank you for you guys listening on my podcast, YEL 2.0, and you guys watching on YouTube. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe below for consistent updates, millionaire interviews, and obviously consistent, valuable content. And I want to remind you guys, we really pride ourselves. We have team meetings, we have an advisory board, and we pride ourselves in giving better, more tactical, free content than most people charge thousands for. So I want you guys to consume the content, but more than consume and listen, execute and get real results. We love hearing your stories. So we're going to continue to break down the 6 months to six figures with a very, very important chapter, which is called Money Matters. Money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. All right? Money's very important for freedom, for peace of mind, for experiences, for adventure, for lifestyle, for impact. And the purpose of this chapter was to not just educate people on money, but to actually share firsthand experience how I didn't just go from dead broke to six figures in income. I went from a dead broke mindset to a wealthy mindset first. You see, mindset comes first, results come second. Don't believe what you believe just because that's how you were raised. Especially if you're from a small town, there's a lot of philosophies that you adopt subconsciously that might not be serving you well. And this is a topic that's rarely discussed at home and never in any school I went to. And one of the main reasons people don't have enough. So when you say enough, or when I say enough, I mean you have to define what's enough for you, but most people are struggling and they have inconsistent income, or they don't have enough income to pay for their bills. And if they do, they're just trying to escape the rat race and they're just focused on how to pay their next bill. And I personally know what it's like to have no money. And have you ever noticed that it's usually those who claim they don't care about money that are usually broke, right? And I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I mean, opposite sides. Dead broke. When I say dead broke, I mean no money in savings, like no money to my name. Dead broke, discouraged, frustrated. I didn't have enough money to go to the drive-thru, and I've made a couple $100,000 in 1 month, right? So it really has came down to my mindset. And the reason I put this before my 6M, 6F deep dive, like the 6 tactics to get the six figures, was because if you don't have the money mindset, money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. So I wanted to share with you how to not just make money, but how to keep it, how to multiply it, how to compound it, and how to protect your family to where you never have money issues. 60% of athletes and entertainers go broke a couple years after they retire, right? So I've been fortunate enough to have great income, and I've been fortunate enough to be broke. And the topic of wealth and income is just, it's viewed in a negative light. And I'm sure there'll be people that didn't approve of my book title, 6 months to six figures, right? But here's my question to you that I posed in the book. Why not get wealthy? Why not become a millionaire? Why not focus on making as much money as possible? I did an experiment, and I tried living life with no money, and I also lived life with a lot of money, and I found out having more money was more enjoyable, more fulfilling, more exciting, and gave me more choices. Now, there's no correlation after you have all your basics needs covered that money equates to happiness. You're not intelligent if you think way more money makes you happier. Not the case. But I've done an experiment, and life is more enjoyable. You have more choices, more leverage, more freedom when you do have money. Okay? So here's what I want to cover. Like I said, this is just breaking down the chapters and philosophies I've gone through. Have you ever heard anyone say any of these statements? And these are statements that I hear consistently still. Not as much as I used to, but money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Money won't make you happy. You don't want to be one of those people. Don't focus on money. You don't need that much money. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's too expensive. We can't afford that. All of these are subconsciously planting people's seeds in their head that money is viewed in a negative light. And all these phrases are usually said by people who lack financial intelligence and financial freedom. Our society is afraid of being labeled as greedy. And I thought talking about money made me greedy. So I didn't talk about money. And my situation was I ended up broke. Shocker, right? when I started valuing money and telling myself money flows to me. Money is a reflection of my value. If I have no money, I'm not very valuable. I took that personally, right? It takes money to build a lifestyle. And I talk about this to close friends and masterminds. I've never talked about it in a light like this, but here's the reality. One of the reasons I continue to make money, yes, for my family, that's one of the top, but it's also so I never have to answer to anybody and no one can tell me what to do. I want leverage, I want control and freedom to do what I want on my terms. And money, it takes money. Money can do that. So let me give you some stats, okay? At age 65, and this is mind-blowing to me, 69% of Americans are dependent on relatives, friends, or charities. 29% are still working, and 2% are financially independent. And the goal with the book and with my content is to help you become the 2 to 5%, right? The college stats are insane right now. National student debt is $1.2 trillion. That could fund over 30 million semesters. Student loan is increasing $2,853 per second. In the US, there are 350,000 waiters and waitresses with bachelor degrees. 40 million people in the US have student loans. That's more than the population of Canada, Australia, and 200 other countries. But here's the crazy thing. Let me give you the state of our current society and the state of currency. There's 1.5 trillion. That's how much US money is in circulation as of January this year. Most of it is in the form of Federal Reserve notes, but there's 81 trillion. That's how much money's in the world. $81 trillion. But that's just counting coins, bills, and bank deposits. It ignores other assets with value, such as gold, investments with derivatives, Bitcoin, whatever. 1.2 quadrillion. That's how much money is estimated to be in all those things. So why I say this is there's so much money right now. And this is something that really shifted my perspective back in 2011 and 12. When the economy doesn't do well, when people are struggling, when most people are in fear, comes the greatest opportunity. But here's the reality. When the economy doesn't do well, the money doesn't disappear. I thought it disappeared. So I thought, here's my thought process growing up in a small town and just kind of going with the majority. When the economy goes down, so do I. I'm supposed to not have money. But I didn't realize that successful people capitalize and understand. They don't let their mindset be shifted or persuaded. When the economy doesn't do well, the money doesn't disappear. It just transfers to the successful people who are becoming more valuable, who have built businesses that really solve problems. Okay? So you have to understand how money works before you can make it. You have to understand why most people are struggling before you can thrive, and you have to understand how to play the game before you can change it. So it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, but I want to tell you, you have to understand there is 1,700 new millionaires created every day. There's not a shortage of money anywhere, and the market will crash soon. You guys all know this if you're in the US and if you've been paying attention, the market will crash, but the ultimate time for opportunity is when most people are pessimistic, okay? And you might ask, Peter, how do I build wealth? How do I focus on multiplying my money and making money if I can barely get by? Well, a lot of people ask me, how do I focus on like financial freedom if I'm 2 checks away from being broke? Well, sadly, these are common questions people ask me, but here's the deal. If you want to break free from mediocrity, you have to change your perspective on wealth, and you might as well start now. Okay, and the book kind of gives you the answers on how to do that. All right, so there was a study by Thomas Stanley, and he's done a lot of studies, but he said 3% of people right now are wealthy. These are people with 2 million plus in investable assets, and these aren't people that are house rich, cash poor. This refers to people that have 2 million liquid. There's 27 people financially comfortable. 55% are living paycheck to paycheck, and 15% are further in debtors. The book kind of talks about how people get in those situations and how to get out of them. My goal with the book is, yes, to get you to that top 30% first, then eventually to the top 5%. But I want to deal in reality and create proper expectations for you. So another thing I did, and why I did this, was because if you can conceptualize and you can tactically understand that it's nearly impossible for most people to make 6 figures where they're currently at, then it gives you a broader spectrum of why most people are broke or don't make money. So if you're working at an hourly job, you make $10 an hour. It'll take you 29 hours a day, 365 days a year to create a six-figure income. That's obviously not possible. If you're working $20 per hour job, you'll still have to work 14 and a half hours a day for 365 days with no days off to create your first six-figure income. You would have to make $48 per hour and work 40 hours a week with no vacation time if you want to make six figures working a normal job. So this book was about the entrepreneurial mindset, how to think different, how to set yourself up for success, and how to not trade time for money. Because if you're trading time for money, you'll work till the day you die, or you'll retire with not enough money, one of the two. So I really wanted to introduce people, even if you're not an entrepreneur, it's important to understand these principles and philosophies. Okay, so you really want to focus on, I call them the 4 W's to lifestyle satisfaction, because the ultimate goal is to build a life on your terms where you have financial freedom, where you're not worried about the next paycheck. So the 4 W's that you can kind of check yourself on, and if you kind of look at these 4 W's right here, it breaks each one down, and then I give you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tactical tips on right now what you can do to get your money up and to start building wealth, right? Tactical things right away. By the way, I didn't tell you last time, you could get this book on Amazon, Audible, or you could go to sixfiguresbook.com. If you want to order bulk copies for your sales team, let me know. We have some hard copies available. But the 4 W's to lifestyle satisfaction. What you do, like what's the possibility and upside? Is the opportunity endless? Is it going to keep you fascinated and engaged the next 2, 3, 5 years? Who you do it with? Who is leading you? Are they inspiring? Do they challenge you, right? When you do it and when you don't, do you have flexibility and freedom to do it on your terms? Can you design your business around your lifestyle? And where you do it? Can you work from home? Can you travel? Can you move? Can you, do you have an environment that inspires you, right? Those are the things that you want to kind of measure everything against. What you do, who you do it with, when you do it and when you don't, and where you do it, right? And then I give you 8 tips on how to maximize your money. But that's it. I mean, I would kind of define what real wealth means to you and create like a 90-day challenge. Decrease your consumption, increase your production. And if you really want to be wealthy, get around wealthier people. The reason I wanted to bring this chapter into this is because you got to have the right money mindset if you want to make money. And it's not taught in school. Most of our parents didn't teach it the right way. Things are changing, and it's adapt or die. But if you want to make money, you have to respect money and understand where money comes from and how it's attracted to you. Okay? So once again, let me know. Oh, and I end with this. The difference between ordinary income and extraordinary income is fast implementation. How quick will you get on your grind to start increasing your income? I assure you, if you take this book seriously and you want it bad enough, you will create an income explosion over the next couple months. And it's kind of cool reading that, knowing that we have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials of people that actually took action. I want you to realize that your bank account isn't who you are, it's who you were before you made the decision to change it. And the moment you really take responsibility for everything, you take full credit, is the moment you can change anything as well, all right? So I appreciate you guys. Really, really, really understand the importance of having a money mindset. And you don't need to make $1 million to be happy. You just have to define what is ideal for you based on your lifestyle that you want to accomplish and map that out and start taking action. All right, so thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you guys. Please share this if you got any value. Comment below your biggest breakthrough, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.